that I will faithfully and diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the high office.
So help us God. Greetings, you're watching Beyond the Ballot on Love Well Set. This is a program aimed at providing you with updates and analysis on the latest developments buzzing in the corridors of politics and governments across the world. My name is Jackie Shabangu, and today we are at the Brach in Free State, South Africa, where the International Peacekeepers Day is taking place. This is a ceremony that annually seeks to observe and celebrate the contributions, sacrifices, and professionalism of the peacekeepers around the world, including those who have fallen in the battlefront. So stay tuned to Love Well Set today as we bring to you key highlights of this moment. We will be reflecting on the recent developments that have prevailed where the South African National Defence Force is concerned, and we'll be having chats with a few stakeholders, including families of those who have fallen on the battlefield. So stay tuned to Love Well Set as we continue to bring to you excerpts of this beautiful ceremony. God bless you.
The chief of the SANDF, General Radzani Mapanya, says the force is now at a critical phase of withdrawal from the SADC mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, SAMIDRC, where South African troops have been deployed to support peace efforts. The contingent equipment of all the countries that had contributed troops and equipment is already at above 65% to the assembly area, he said. The SANDF observed the International Day of UN Peacekeepers on Thursday to honor the professionalism, dedication and sacrifice of UN peacekeepers, past and present, who have served in the pursuit of peace. Mapanya paid tribute to the 14 SANDF members who lost their lives while serving in the DRC, describing them as heroes whose blood nurtured the roots of peace. Their wounds are still fresh. They were fighting for the Congolese people's right to a peaceful and stable existence. I say with unwavering conviction that their sacrifice was not in vain. Their toil, their blood, is the tree we see today, a tree bearing the nascent fruits of peace and stability in that nation. However, we are not under any illusion that our work is complete. We recognize that we are still a long way from achieving our ultimate goal of lasting peace and stability, he said. He said the withdrawal did not diminish their responsibility to continue supporting peacebuilding efforts in the DRC. SADC, along with other international entities, will continue to seek peaceful resolutions in the Central African nation. Our departure is not a desertion of the Congolese people. As directed by our government, we remain prepared to support future peacekeeping missions in the DRC and elsewhere, whenever and wherever our expertise and dedication are required, he said. Mapanya said that for more than 70 years, the UN had upheld a tradition of supporting nations struggling with turmoil, helping them find peaceful solutions. He said the commitment comes at a great cost, with more than 4,000 peacekeepers having paid the ultimate price under the UN flag. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. Peacekeepers play a vital role in conflict zones, maintaining ceasefires, protecting vulnerable populations, and supporting the rebuilding of societies ravaged by war. Their work often comes at a great personal risk, with thousands having given their lives in service to peace since 1948, Mapanya said. Mapanya reiterated that the SANDF objective remains to foster peace and stability through mediation and political engagement. We believe SAMIDRC has contributed significantly to this effort, paving the way for a future where peace can truly take root. Indeed, in every external mission that we undertake, peace remains our ultimate and unwavering goal.
We read the Book of Lamentations, the book that expresses the humiliation, the suffering and despair of Judah after the destruction of Jerusalem. In the verses that we have read, the author reminds himself of the affliction and the despair that they, as the nation of Judah, have suffered when they were beaten into exile by the Babylonians. Though he reminds himself of such agony, he doesn't dwell in the pain. He doesn't dwell in the past. He puts his focus in finding hope in the new mercies of God. It is like he was proclaiming or making a declaration of hope in God's new mercies amidst the suffering. He was emphasizing on the enduring nature of God's mercies that are new every morning. Beloved, even today for us, these God's mercies are still new for us every day. As we remember men and women who paid the highest price, men and women who perished while they were in peacekeeping operations, men and women who left their homes and their beautiful countries with a smile, but came back in coffins. As we remember them, may we also be reminded of God's new mercies. They are new every morning. May we remember that these mercies cannot even be consumed. As we go up and down the memory lanes of our loved ones, sometimes feeling the cold cloud of sadness covering us, in those moments, may God's kindness fill our hearts, His mercies restore our brokenness, and His love restore our joy. As we see their names on the memorial wall, may we remember and appreciate the sacrifices that they have done for us and for this beautiful country. May we truly believe that only His new mercies will heal our hearts. May we remember that these mercies are not only for others, but they are meant for us, and they can strengthen us. It is my prayer this morning that as we remember these men and women, as we remember these heroes and heroines, and approach the memorial wall with pride, that we can open our hearts and allow His new mercies to take control and change our stories. Then we can proudly say, at the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
The Minister of Defense and Military Veterans, Ms. Enzi Motshekga, will now lay a wreath on behalf of the President of the Republic of South Africa.
It is with deep respect and gratitude that I welcome you to this solemn commemoration of the International Day of the United Nations Peacekeepers. But before we proceed, let us rise and observe a moment of silence in remembrance of those brave individuals who have made the ultimate sacrifice while serving on peacekeeping missions. May we all rise and observe a moment of silence. May their courageous souls rest in eternal peace. You may be seated. It is befitting that I start off by reflecting on what the United Nations Secretary General said in his opening remarks at the United Nations Ministerial in Berlin. I quote, "In travel sports around the world, blue helmets can mean the difference between life and death. Now, more than ever, the world needs the United Nations, and the United Nations needs peacekeeping that is fully equipped for today's realities and tomorrow's challenges." Close quote. That was by the Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Today, we gather to honor the thousands of United Nations peacekeepers, the blue helmets, who embody humanity's highest aspiration for peace. This day serves as an opportunity to reaffirm the international community's commitment to peace, security, and international cooperation. The day is dedicated to highlighting the contributions of military, police, and civilian personnel who serve under the United Nations flag, often in challenging and dangerous conditions. Drawn from diverse backgrounds and nations, these dedicated men and women serve in challenging peace operations across conflict zones, both in Africa, Asia, Europe, and in the Middle East. They risk their lives daily in some of the world's most dangerous and unstable regions, protecting civilians, upholding human rights, supporting elections, and strengthening institutions. The South African National Defence Force and the entire nation joins the international community in honoring those who have passed and those who continue to serve on missions worldwide. In a message to mark the Peacekeepers Day, the United Nations Secretary General Guterres reiterated what he said when opening the United Nations Peacekeepers Ministerial, in that he said, I quote, "Today, peacekeepers face increasingly complex situations in an increasingly complex world. Now, more than ever, the world needs the United Nations, and the United Nations needs peacekeeping that is fully equipped for today's realities and tomorrow's challenges." Close quote. This is the reality which is premised on the theme under which this solemn occasion is celebrated. Technology that is deployed in contemporary battlefield has prompted the world to come to realization that we cannot continue to fashion and design the peacekeeping suit in the same manner that we used to do. Thus, this year's theme, which is the future of peacekeeping, reflects the evolving nature of peace operations in a complex and rapidly changing world. The United Nations is responding positively and is actively working to modernize and adapt missions for the challenges of the future. The theme emphasizes the Pact for the Future, which was adopted by the United Nations last year. The practical expression of this desire includes a commitment to adapt peacekeeping to a changing world, expressed by member states' pledges to fill capability gaps and assist in adapting United Nations peacekeeping to emerging challenges and new realities at the recent Peacekeeping Ministerial in Berlin, which I attended with the Minister of Defense and Military Veterans, last week. For over 70 years, the United Nations has upheld a tradition of supporting nations struggling with turmoil, helping them find peaceful solutions. This commitment comes at a great cost, with over 4,000 peacekeepers having paid the ultimate price under the United Nations flag. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. Peacekeepers play a vital role in conflict zones, maintaining ceasefires, protecting vulnerable populations, and supporting the rebuilding of societies ravaged by war. Their work often comes at a great personal risk, with thousands having given their lives in service to peace since 1948. This International Day is not only a time for remembrance, but also an opportunity to highlight the need for continued support, training, and reform in peacekeeping operations. It also calls for the reform of the United Nations Security Council so as to be able to realize the aspirations of all, and all including the African continent. It reminds us that sustainable peace requires international solidarity, accountability, and commitment. South Africa began its peacekeeping contributions in 1999, joining the United Nations Organization mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which was dubbed MONUC. Almost 26 years later, South Africa remains a significant contributor to the United Nations peacekeeping missions, with its largest deployment to the United Nations Organization Stabilization Mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which today we call MONUSCO, involving over 2,000 peacekeepers from this country. We have also contributed police personnel to United Nations Interim Security Force for ABEI, which was called UNISFA, and the United Nations mission in South Sudan, UNIMIS, and participated in peace operations in Burundi, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Liberia, Nepal, and Darfur in Sudan. Achieving peace comes at a high price, with casualties and setbacks. Yet, in honoring those we have lost, we reaffirm our determination to see peace, security, and stability becoming a reality for nations across our continent and the world. We extend our deepest condolences to the families, friends, and comrades of those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Their courage and selfless commitment to peace remain an inspiration. As the Chief of the South African National Defence Force and the entire members of the National Defence Force, we remain undeterred and committed to working with like-minded forces to ensure peace prevails in our continent. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and most importantly, our brave blue elements, as Commander, it is with sense of both pride and solemn reflection that I address you today, particularly concerning the Democratic Republic of Congo. As announced earlier this month, we are busy with the phased withdrawal of our forces from the Southern African Development Community Mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which we call SAMI DRC. We are working around the clock with the SADC Secretariat to ensure that we get all our people and equipment back from the Eastern DRC. We are at the critical stage of this withdrawal. The contingent equipment of all the countries that had contributed troops and equipment is already at above 65% to the assembly area. I have promised our media that as soon as we embark on the personnel phase of the withdrawal, I will invite the willing journalists to the SADC assembly area to bear witness to that phase of withdrawal. I still maintain, as soon as we start, though you will understand, we work on the D-Day system, and therefore, on D+1, we will start moving from this side to go to the assembly area. And it is at that time that I will invite our journalists to accompany the team. that will be going to the assembly area. Let me reiterate that our objective remains to foster peace and stability through mediation and political engagement, and therefore we continue to provide soldiers so as to enhance this ability for politicians and the world to engage in political and mediation processes. We believe Summit DRC has contributed significantly to this effort, paving the way for a future where peace can truly take root. Indeed, in every external mission that we undertake, peace remains our ultimate and unwavering goal. Today, as we honor our peacekeepers, we also remember with reverence the 14 heroes who tragically lost their lives in the DRC. The wound is still fresh. They were fighting for the Congolese people's right to a peaceful and a stable existence. I say with unwavering conviction that their sacrifices was not in vain. Their toil, their blood has watered the tree we see today, a tree bearing the nascent fruits of peace and stability in that nation. However, we are not under any illusion that our work is complete. We recognize that we are still a long way from achieving our ultimate goal of lasting peace and stability. Our withdrawal does not diminish our responsibility to continue supporting peace-building efforts in the DRC. SADC, along with other international entities, will continue to seek peaceful resolution in that Central African nation. Our departure is not a desertion of the Congolese people. As directed by our government, we remain prepared to support future peacekeeping missions and peace-building efforts in the DRC. I must also address a critical aspect of the nature of modern conflict. It is often said that the first casualty of war is the truth. In times of conflict, accurate information is often deliberately suppressed, distorted, or manipulated to control public opinion and advance particular agendas. Cyberspace has become the new battleground, a potent weapon of destruction. Esteemed colleagues, members of the press, and fellow citizens, we stand at a critical juncture. We are engaged in the serious business of war, a reality that touches the lives of each and every one of us. Let us not forget that behind the headlines and the statistics, there are real people. Mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, whose lives are profoundly impacted by the events unfolding around them. In times of conflict, information is a powerful weapon. As such, I address myself directly to all South Africans and all peace-loving people around the continent and the world, who, in one way or another, find themselves in the media space, be it mainstream or social media. We need to join hands and report objectively, without fear or favor, but stick to the facts as they present themselves. Now, more than ever, let us resist the temptation to amplify rumors and unverified claims. Misinformation and the spread of false narratives can have devastating consequences. It can incite panic, sow division, and undermine the very fabric of our society. Let us all commit to responsible, ethical information sharing and to the preservation of trust during this challenging period. The United Nations Ministerial echoed the need for innovative approaches to address complex conflicts, leveraging emerging technologies and address threats such as misinformation and disinformation. On this special day, I want to express my sincere gratitude to our dedicated members who continue to serve as credible peacekeepers in their various deployments. Your nation stands behind you. We will continue to cherish your effort to strive every day to build a brighter future for the communities where you are deployed and for your own country. Do not despair in the face of challenges. Let us not be the ones that peddle false, demoralizing video footages that do that what borders on security breaches. Remember one thing that makes you different from others. You are destined for success after success because you subscribe to the most noble belief that discipline is the mother of victory. Continue to show a high level of discipline in all spheres. Carry your code of conduct wherever you go. To our international colleagues, including the over 400 United Nations volunteers who work far from their homes and families, often in difficult conditions, to support countries on their path to peace. Your dedication is deeply appreciated. Indeed, the United Nations is a proven investment in global peace, security, and prosperity. In an interconnected world, no nation can achieve peace and security for its citizens on its own. It therefore requires collaboration, and as a first contributing nation, we must recommit ourselves to carrying the responsibility for peacekeeping. We must also take decisive action to make our operations safer and more effective in today's challenging environments. And crucially, we must remain committed to reinforcing the vital role that our forces are playing in promoting human rights. In closing, I leave you with this thought. War and peace are not opposites, but rather two sides of the same coin. While war is a brutal and destructive force, the pursuit of peace is a fundamental human desire that unites us all. I thank you.
As South Africa prepares to honor its fallen soldiers in a wreath-laying ceremony, the South African National Defence Force, SANDF, has reaffirmed the country's long-standing commitment to peacekeeping efforts across the continent. South Africa has stamped its authority to say we are a country that stands for peace. Even at the cost of our lives, South Africans are willing to go and raise their hands to say we will be there for fellow Africans, to ensure that there is stability in the region, said SANDF spokesperson Rear Admiral Junior Grade Prince Chabalala. On Thursday, the SANDF will hosted a wreath-laying ceremony at De Brugge Military Base, Bloemfontein, to observe International Day of United Nations Peacekeepers. The event honors the professionalism, dedication, and sacrifice of UN peacekeepers, past and present, who have served to promote peace across conflict-affected regions around the world. We are grateful to their families for lending us their sons and daughters. They paid the ultimate sacrifice ensuring peace on the continent, he said. Themed Review and Adapt UN Peacekeeping to Meet the Needs of the 21st Century, this year's observance highlights the evolving challenges and roles peacekeepers face in fostering sustainable peace and security. Chabalala said that silencing the guns across the continent is essential for stability and for the developmental opportunities of African nations. The SANDF participated in peacekeeping efforts in Goma in the eastern DRC, during which some of its soldiers were killed in battle. Chabalala said that despite the casualties, their presence was crucial in stabilizing the region. Highlighting the history of peacekeeping and its importance, he said South Africa's involvement in peacekeeping began in earnest in 1994, inspired by the country's founding President Nelson Mandela. In 1999 he said Mandela played a crucial role in peacekeeping efforts during the First Congolese War. Between 2001 and 2006, the SANDF was involved in Burundi's transition to peace, and was also involved in the Central African Republic from 2006 to 2015. Chabalala said South Africa has also played a key role in Sudan, Lesotho, and Mozambique. He said these missions have reinforced the country's legacy as a contributor to peace and security on the continent. Our legacy speaks for itself, said Chabalala. More recently, from 2021 to 2023, SA participated in the SADC mission in Mozambique, Samim, countering insurgency in Cabo Delgado. Chabalala said peacekeeping reflects SA's constitutional values. We are a living embodiment of the South African Constitution, and foreign policy values is human rights, regional integration, solidarity, and African-led solutions for African problems. He said the impact of these missions has been significant. Chabalala emphasized that SA remains committed to the conflict mediation process and supporting any effort that ensures human rights and peace for fellow Africans.
What are your thoughts concerning today's program? Did it go according to plan, and what was the impact? Where your soul is concerned?
Look, our highlight today was to see families, all families, particularly those that lost their heroes this year in Jan. But what we have seen is a number of all the families going back from those who lost their sons and daughters in 1999 when we started in Burundi and other missions. Also coming to us to say, we want to be together with you as you honor us. So we have also seen Mme Enji Motshekga laying a wreath, the chief SANDF laying a wreath. That is the highest, almost respect that we afforded the family. And you can see now the mood is very somber, but at the same time very important. They are appreciating what we have done for them. Because I heard the family of Staff Sergeant Kola, who was buried in Eastern Cape, saying that they like the comfort that we brought to them, the way we handled the whole process of delivering the news, the support they got before the body had arrived back home. And they also express the gratuity of the way we took care of them. Even now, everything is dignified and it shows respect. And there's a lot of communication that has been going on between the SANDF and the families, and their families in terms of their service benefits that is due to them. And the chief, what is very important, that the chief has also made sure that the SANDF Education Trust is now inactive and has been active for such a long time. But the more funds we get through our sponsors, is that more of these children of the fallen heroes are going to benefit, and we are going to make sure that no children is left without any education, since the breadwinner is no longer there. So that is the kind of atmosphere that we have observed today. We have seen soldiers playing the last reveille, which is the highest honor that we can give to a soldier to be remembered. All flags of the national defense representing different services were lowered down in honor of these fallen soldiers. So it was really a touching but very emotional day. As you can see, at the moment as we reflect, we are talking more of support that we need to do, and we are looking forward to receive those that will be coming back now to give that proper receipt that they deserve as we welcome them back in the family. But those that we remember every year on the 29th are always going to be, their names are written in the annals of our history as the ultimate people who made a sacrifice in defense of democracy and peace.
Let's talk about what underpins the partnership between the United Nations and the South African Defence Force, and how is it helping the Defence Force in delivering its broader mandate, not only in the country but across the continent?
Yeah, look, we are supporting the stance of the United Nations as a organ or that is there for peace, security, and create stability. And the fact that this organ, United Nations, is South Africa is a member country. Therefore, it plays a critical role as we are aligned with our foreign policies, which is headed by the Department of International Relations, to say South Africa stands for mediation, conflict resolution. And we've been a major player over the years, obviously inspired by Utata, our former president, Nelson Mandela. So he taught us that through peace, the guns can be silenced. So we've been embarking on that mission for over these years, because we have seen the changes that peace can bring, and in stabilizing economies, in stabilizing the country. And we have seen peace, countries like Burundi, even Rwanda prospering, because they now believe in peace. And we are saying that for us as South Africa, we believe in the regional stabilization. And as a SANDF, from the military perspective, when we are there, we are not actually warmongering. We are there as peacemakers. We are there to show that war cannot continue for such a long time. We ourselves have learned from our past. Therefore, the world we need to share this experience that we have gone through it, and we know that peace through peace, so many things can be achieved. So that is the reflection that we always want to take it back to the United Nations. Hence, South Africa has always been invited as a major strategic player, as a negotiator and a mediator in many other conflicts in the continent.
Strategic partner, strategic mediator in the broader scheme of things where defense is concerned. The issue of resources is quite inevitable at this time. The vision is quite big. There are adaptations that are quite inevitable as far as technology is concerned and artificial intelligence therein. Given your partnership with the UN, is it feasible to maybe explore tapping into the balance sheet in order to make up for the most needful resources? And if you have not tapped into that, what are maybe the ideas that are probably perambulating in the minds of those who are making decisions in the Defense Force?
Look, United Nations does a lot of reimbursement. When you have manufactured the technology and you are deciding to use in a theater of operations, they do acknowledge and invest back. So what we have seen that, many a times we tend to use physical operations. So now with the development of technology, we can really avoid a number of casualties when we are now into operational mode. We can save lives using technology to infuse so that we can avoid loss of soldiers' lives particularly. So we are taking this as a very serious matter. As the Minister of Defense, NG, has already spoken to say when they went to Berlin conference, that is what they came back with to say more investment has to be made in safeguarding the South African troop to ensure that when we undertake this peacekeeping mission, at least we know that we have a minimal loss of life. We are not saying that there will be no lives, of course, but minimal, because being assisted by the use of technology. So we are speaking, in fact, the minister, I can report to say she met the industry. 2 days ago, we had many partners as well. She met our defense industry, which is a very vibrant industry that is highly respected around the world, to say, please, pay more attention in investing in South Africa. Let the SANDF be the test ground of your new technology that you are going to sell to the world. But mainly, this technology must also be there to ensure that there's peace and stability. We don't really have to rely in physical contact. And so AI and other means that technologies that are being developed, they are necessary now in the scheme of the future of peacekeeping.
Amazing. And just the last one, this program has been here, I don't know for how long, but it's an annual program. Those of us who are here for the first time have, to an extent, witnessed its impact as a communicator. How are you planning to leverage this program to, raise more awareness and consolidate the consciousness of the people in as far as the work and the critical mandate of the Defense Force is concerned, and also just raise awareness, also educate young people about the opportunities that they can capitalize so that they're able to receive the industry and run with it in not less than 10 years to come, because we are no longer the future now. We are no longer the future. We are the future today. Yes.
Very relevant question. And in terms of the awareness, you'll see as we embark into the space of technology ourselves as defense corporate communication, we will, for such occasion, for example, the minister is a former educator. She has given us a mandate to be involved in more outreach program. Just a month ago, we had a big outreach program here in Bloemfontein where we are teaching most of the youth in this province about the SANDF and its career awareness, But we have to go beyond that. When we commemorate such an event, for example, the International Peacekeepers Day, we have to invite the public in our space here. They must be passed, assisted by the province, the mayors and local community to see what really it's all about, how we honor our heroes. But we are going to extend where we are going to even influence curriculum to learn more about United Nations. In my days as a youngster, I got to learn about Dutch Hammarskjöld, who was the really elite player who founded the principles of what has become the foundation of the United Nations. So those kind of education in the education scheme of things have to be implanted in our youth, as we are really saying that we are dealing with the next generation of people. They have to really love peace and restoration, because even ourselves as men of war, trained and qualified, we don't like to be in that situation. We don't like to be there. We are not the propagators of violence, but we have to manage violence responsibly. Where it is required, we'll be there. However, it is not in our nature. We are first a human being, and we believe that it is important that this management of this violence, which is the military, people have to learn its capabilities fully. You remember, the military has two entities. A military in a developmental state like ours has to also be able to assist people in times of need and bring service delivery issues such as water to the community, where we are assisting with building of infrastructure, because as a community we are capable, we have all inherent capability to run the country, to assist municipalities, and all those things have to be factored. So indeed, from that perspective, the military has to play a meaningful role in South Africa, but at the same time, our people have to be made aware. More investment. We are looking at a radio, for example. We are now establishing things like podcasts so that our people can start to engage with us very freely, and we are not really shy to engage them. Such platforms like this, you can see here today, we are engaging the families of those who are affected by the issue of that they've lost the heroes. Each family that you see here today have lost someone, but the pride that they have is that this person was lost not through gangsterism and criminality, but they got lost or they fell in the battle, saving another humanity.
Your thoughts as you reflect on the Peacekeepers Day, in particular what transpired today through the lens of the chaplain services of the South African Defence Force?
I can say, wow, the day was good. All the plans unfolded as we planned. But from the chaplain's point of view, looking into the families, it shows how emotional they are still being. And it also says to us, most of them are not yet healed, especially the ones, the 14 from the DRC this year. You could see the emotions that were rolling down there, that the people are still hurt, the people are not yet healed, and we need to still take them through that healing process, which is not going to be a one overnight process. It's going to take long, because you will also realize that even the others from previous years, when they approach the wall of memory, they still cry. So the emotions are still there, emotions that still says we still need to do more in supporting our families.
And the Peacekeepers ceremony today was largely characterized by, the divine service, for lack of a better word. How would you describe, in your own experience, based on the output, of course, of the people that you serve as chaplaincy service, the impact of that particular service of the spirit, of the soul of man?
Yes, though it's Peacekeepers, but you will realize that we also say it's a Peacekeepers Memorial Day. And in the Defence Force, memorial services, it's the activity that is led by the chaplains. So it's an activity that is highly spiritual, so to say. The service that still preaches the word of God and brings God closer to people, that amidst the sufferings, the brokenness, God is still our God. Hence, the message of today, that of new mercies, that whatever that we are experiencing, going through, new mercies of God are still there for us. And these new mercies are the mercies that are carrying us, carrying our peacekeepers, being with them wherever they are, till thus far.
Let's look beyond the Peacekeepers program, the impact of the chaplain services into the military. How would you describe its impact in the entire defense force, given that you use the word to empower, inspire, align, correct, and comfort those who are constantly in the battlefront defending the millions of the lives of the people?
The chaplain service, it's a support service, but the word that I like, it's embedded activity, meaning that every unit of the SANDF is structured to have a chaplain, and not only a regular chaplain coupled with reserve force chaplains, because the spirituality of our members plays a key role. Every activity of the defense force, it started by religious observances. And when I'm talking about chaplains, I'm not only talking about Christian chaplains. We are a cross-cultural and religious community. Therefore, we also have Muslims and Hindus amongst ourselves. So all our members are catered for. So the chaplaincy is at the heart of every activity that the Defense Force is doing. There is no exercise, no deployment that will take place, and there is no structure of a chaplain. So our chaplains are there to support our members spiritually, emotionally, ethically, and morally so. So our chaplains then are well trained to ensure that they are covering all these other aspects. Though on the side we are supported by psychosocial teams, but the chaplain service, we remain to be at the heart of the Defense Force. We remain to be ensuring and taking care of our members, whether on exercises, in home units, on deployment, on training. We are there. We render twofold kind of ministry. We say it's ministry by presence. We are where our members are. Whether they are in field exercises, we are there rolling with them. We also render ministry by word, where we preach to our members, where we deliver value-based lectures to our members. So we are there everywhere.
It's very tough, honestly, especially for me and our kid. But we have all the support we need from the defense. So there are social workers, chaplains, polling, psychologists. So we are sorted on that one, emotionally. My husband was a soccer player. He was very energetic. He loved people. Everyone that knew him knew that he was kind. And yeah, he loved soccer so much that he used to play that side. In a way, it's bad. I think it's because maybe I am unemployed and he was the breadwinner. But overall, everything is okay. It's coming all right. We are just trying to live without him. Yes.
I'm just here to remember him and cherish the moment and to just like have memories of him and see where his name is and put flowers for him. Yeah.
What brought you to the Peacekeepers Day this time around?
Okay, I came here for a commemoration of our loved ones, the ones who fell in Central African Republic. That was 2013. My son was one of them. So that's why I'm here to come to memorize his legacy. Yeah.
And 2013, I guess you've been coming every time there's a Peacekeepers ceremony. How is it helping you in the healing process?
Yeah, it is helpful very much so, because even today, even when others are getting emotional, I was strong today. I don't know why, but it shows that it keeps on. When times goes, we are healing. Yeah, we're healing by time.
And how has been the state of affairs in the Holy Biancochai with the kids? You know, I know that you are left with the grandchildren. I saw you with your grandchildren, your lovely grandchildren. How has been the situation? How are you coping?
We're coping very well because they are helping the kids with their school uniform. They're paying their tuition, everything. So we're just waiting for kids lump sum actually.
And how would you describe, just briefly, the impact of the chaplaincy service and the social services of the National Defence Force?
SANDF is very, very, very much helpful to us. The services, they respect us, the protocol. You know, one thing I like about them, they just follow the protocol 100%. Everything was superb.
The parents who lost their kids recently in Goma, we are waiting some of them to come back. Anxieties are always, prevailing in most of the. What can you say to them, those who have lost their loved ones?
Okay, I can say to them, they can, even when they come here, they will find the chaplains the social workers, they will console them and they will give them counseling every time when they come here. And it's getting better. That's a journey we went through as well. Yeah, the chaplains, the social workers, they were helping us a lot. We got counseling every time. Even if when you're at home, they call you to come for counseling. Then you go to a certain place just for counseling.
What brings me here today is we come here every year because of the deceased. From my side, it's my dad. He passed on 2006. Ever since then, it's been painful. I won't lie. Each and every year we come here, he triggers the wounds. I won't lie, it's such a painful thing to be here every year. Even though it's fun at the same time, we do enjoy being here. Yeah.
2006, I can imagine you were younger. How old were you and how did you manage to navigate till today?
I was still young. I was like 5 years. But I've been pushing, I've been pushing. I've been trying to even follow the footsteps of my dad, but then I can never reach there. He was a hero. So I can say he passed on a DRC, he was trying to fight for SA, I can say. So I'm so happy for him, wherever he is, I'm super excited. Yeah.
And today's particular Peacekeeping Day celebration, what impact did it impose in your soul?
For me now, honestly, I don't know. I'm used to it because I come here each and every year. I do share a tear with some people, but for now, I can only say that I've healed. I've tried healing, even though it does trigger me, as I said. I do remember it here and then, but for now, I've healed. But every time I see people that cry, I just get triggered. Yeah.
We saw a very large number in recent times of young parents who left very young children behind recently at Goma. If you were, what would you say to those young chaps who lost their parents at the battlefield, their fathers in particular at the battlefield, in terms of navigating this difficult transition?
You know, in Xhosa, I'm Xhosa. In Xhosa, we usually say, that means there's nothing in this world that God can take away from you that He can't replace with. Even if it's the person that passed on or whatsoever, but He will eventually replace that wound with something that's much more better. So for them, I can only say they'll grow, they will learn, because this is life.
At the moment, we are feeling very well. At least just because we did hear what happened and everything we know. What we didn't know, actually, we discovered today what happened. We are at least relieved at the moment. Yeah, we are feeling it a little bit better. Yes.
And how do you relate with the one that you are here about?
It's my grandson. Yeah, Louis Calvin Moari is my grandson. Yes.
How has the family been coping, of course, with the support of the SANDF?
At first, it was very much difficult. But at the end of the day, they did come and comfort us. The chaplains, the social workers, they did come and talk to us. At least at the moment, we are feeling very little bit better. We are coping now at the moment. Yeah.
And are you happy with what the Defence Force is providing with in terms of support and other areas of need?
Whatever they promised us at the first time, they did give us. Now we are still waiting for other things which they said they will provide us with. Yes.
And moving forward, what would you like to see?
We want to see them every now and then coming to us. Whatever new things which comes, if they come to us to consult us, then we'll appreciate that. Yes.
All right, that brings us to the end of this exclusive coverage that was the 2025 UN Peacekeepers Day commemoration, which took place here in Free State, South Africa. We trust you are blessed by the divine service that took place, and you are inspired to stand as a patriotic citizen and play your part, count where it matters the most, as our man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhilome, constantly encourages us to do. So till the next exciting episode of Beyond the Ballot, stay tuned to Love Well Set. God bless you.
Do swear that I will faithfully and diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the high office